One of the comments that I get from dog dog pet parents is that, my dog is so stubborn. I can't teach my dog. I can't train my dog. And in reality, most likely, it's not stubbornness. So, who am I? My name is Linda Kwan, and I am the owner and trainer at Wow Bow Wow. I specialize in working with dog parents, whether they have a new puppy, like a 2 to 4 month old they just brought home. Or, maybe they have a little bit older dog, an adolescent dog, 4, 5 month old that's getting a little rambunctious and can't seem to get them to do anything for them. Or, I have adult dogs, pet parents with adult dogs. They may have either recently rescued or, they have a dog that they raised for a couple of years and they're having some issues that they would like to have addressed. So, to go back to this issue about my dog is so stubborn. So, in one of the reasons, okay, just quickly, one of the reasons may be that they don't understand what you're asking them to do. So that's a training issue, a communication issue. But today I want to talk about a second reason, and that may be that the environment is too overwhelming for them. So, like us, if our brain is overstimulated, we can't calm down enough to think. Like, for example, if by chance, someone was in the kitchen and all of a sudden you get this fire that gets started in the kitchen, like a grease fire, and you're over here in the other room and you're working with someone and you're working on maybe coding some kind of something on the computer and they're saying, no, you got to do this. Pay attention. You got to do this. You got to understand and input the coding, the correct coding. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, but you're worried about that fire in the kitchen. It's like, oh my God, is it going to spread? I can smell it now. It's like, what's going on over there? So for your dog, sometimes what's going on around them can be like that grease fire in your kitchen. Does that make sense? So what I like to suggest in order to help your dog be in the right mindset to learn is to continue working with them to get exposure at the level they can handle, exposure to the environment around them where they eventually see the possible what we talked about, a grease fire, but maybe something could be really exciting, like a squirrel, that all those different kinds of triggers that got your dog to be worried so they can't think to be, not so important. Oh, it's just part of our environment. It's nothing there to worry about. So that's what I wanted to come here and talk to you about because, I've had like several adolescent dogs recently, and here are some of them right now. So on the left is Lola, top left. I just recently met her yesterday, and her human mom called me and asked me to help her because she was like barking at everyone, as they pass people on the streets. And so yesterday I met with them at their local dog park. Actually, it's a new dog park, and no one was there except for us. So it was really kind of nice. And we got to watch people as they walk by on the sidewalk and help her learn that that person that's walking by is not scary, is not that, the grease fire. It's, they're okay. They're just going to be part of the environment. She's going to see people walking by. A big truck went by and that kind of worried her, but it passed pretty quickly. Even a fire truck, and she didn't seem as worried about that. But overall, she did really well. And we also helped her learn to disengage just in case she was staring too hard and long at some trigger that was walking by. So Next on the top, there's Lucy and Remy. And so they're also younger dogs. I think they're about a year old now, and they're in my group class. And for them, excitement, they're not necessarily scared or worried about things as much as Lola was. But excitement of the environment gets to them, and they can't learn and they can't think. And one of the things they do when they can't contain themselves is jump on people, right? So we're working on that with them. And then the bottom two on the left, the Doberman, that's Bronco. And, he also does this like running up to people and trying to jump at them when people come into the house. And also with the Doberman mix. I'm sorry, not the Doberman, but the Dalmatian mix. Dalmatian mix, Charlotte. She gets really worried about people and dogs, and she, barks and screams at them. So we're working on helping her, get comfortable with the people and dogs in the environment. And most of the time, it's dogs that she barks at. Whereas Lola, the first dog, she's worried about people, not necessarily dogs. So these dogs, they have different triggers. They may make them worry, and if they worry, you know what? They can't think because they're worried about that quote and end quote grease fire, right? So that's why I wanted to share with you that if you think your dog is being stubborn, it may be that they need to learn that the environment is not so worrisome or so exciting that they can't focus on the task at hand. All right. So I hope this training tip was helpful to you all in regards to your dog, and you look at your dog in a different way, right? So when you're training them to see if you are in an environment where they can actually not be so distracted and actually learn, be able to think and learn. Now, this past week, I did have a workshop. Actually, it was like 2 weeks ago, a workshop about stop dog jumping. And I offered the people who had signed up but couldn't come a copy of the actual recording of one of the sessions. But since then, some of them wanted like some of the handouts and supplemental videos. And so I put together a mini course. And so, I cover not only like the the issues when your dog is jumping on you when you come home, or jumping on your guests, or out and about, embarrassing you by like kind of trying to get to every person or every dog and trying to jump and say hello to them, or they may be worried and like on hind legs up above, like kind of like a horse rearing up kind of thing, right? So I put together this mini course, and if you're interested in this, it's not ready. I've put it together. I put it together for the people that were asking for it in the workshop. I will have it ready for public, I guess, enrollment in about a couple of days, probably like beginning of next week. But I just want to let you know that people wanting more information about this particular workshop I did. And I just created a mini course with additional handouts and videos to help people with dogs that may be, not greeting people politely, right? And like I mentioned, the dogs that are can't listen to you, that you may think are stubborn, it may be that they are overwhelmed. So when they're overwhelmed, sometimes they exhibit that overwhelmed excitement or worriedness in a physical way, which is actually jumping. So this may be a helpful mini course for you and your dog, because I have tips in there about how to calm your dog down. All right. Well, thank you for joining me for my Training Tip Tuesday, and I will see you next Tuesday.